G'day everyone, welcome back. We are looking at Natural Selection League Season 6 Division 1 play between Titus Gaming and Shaft. Titus Gaming being a North American team and Shaft being an Australian team. Of course they are, with a name like Shaft. This is game number 3. We have started straight into the match. I believe I started about 3 seconds late there. I was too busy reading Wasabi One's live Twitch chat to pay attention to the fact that the game was starting and I should actually do my damn job. But I am now in the game and we only missed a few seconds. So we just missed that initial split, but it looks like we haven't had anything really strategic of note happen yet. We are about to have something strategically noteworthy happen in Nanogrid though, because of this is Vale. And if there's a map that I'm familiar with, it could be Vale. Vale could be one of those maps, and whoever controls Nanogrid, usually they're not going to win the game, alright? You don't take Nanogrid and then that's the win button for the game. Ladies and gentlemen, let's just chill here, but it is very valuable. And it's, I imagine, my hypothesis is that if you were to plot wins, if you were to correlate wins and taking of Nanogrid, you'd find that there was a very high correlation there. But we'll see. Rantology being extremely sneaky marine there. Just holding position, just waiting for reinforcements. Wise. She does have Parasite happening. And now we see the aliens just going to town in Nanogrid. They're building up defenses. They've got a frag going up. They've got a whip going up. I've seen Shaft use whips defensively in game 1. I'm interested by that. But they are clearly a fan of the whips. Strong Shaft because it can be used for defensive purposes as well as offensive purposes, and a huge alien death ball just rolling into East Junction. I'm really enjoying Shaft into play into the Battle Gorge. Battle Gorging I think is so underrated. It does slow the alien team down if you're going to fight with the Gorge. The Gorge can't cross the map as quickly. But oh dear, I think Commander is down. There is no Commander, and G does have med packs going down. So we'll just watch this battle play out. G's probably going to retreat. Okay, he's going to retreat. Shaft into has retreated. He's pulled. G did a good job. They're just pulling the aliens back. They might have been able to dominate the fight with Rantology here if it wasn't for that just then. So while the outcome of battle might look like a retreat for one team, you've got to think about what's going on the rest of the map and how whatever's going on in one place is going to affect other places. Zephram, can he be the king? He is almost the king. Very commendable effort there, taking down one of those two aliens. The reason Nanogrid I think is really good for aliens is aliens often have trouble controlling as much ground as Marines in terms of resource towers at the start of games. So you can see the Marines are on 5 extractors at the moment. It's not unusual to see 4 extractors at the 3-minute mark. But Nanogrid's great because as an alien team, you can just sit on it. You can concentrate defenses in the one area. You can control 2 nodes with 1 orifice, as this Gorge tunnel is, and it's great. But of course, if you've watched NS2 before, you know that everyone goes on about the importance of Nano. We've even got a shading here now, so that's impressive. And 1 extractor going down. Not many strategic fights going on right now. I'm keeping an eye on the minimap, trying to catch those. G with the pressure on the hive, probably keeping the lurk back. Not for too long though. Zephram with a great ambush on Bruno Sardine there. I don't think he saw that coming. And Bonage is on low health, and there are 2 Marines up the top of that pipe, so that's not going to happen. Let's check out what happens to Shaft. 10 here, G versus 10. 10 is the lurk, doesn't want to risk getting taken down. Being caught standing still as a lurk, you can take a surprising amount of damage from those Marine weapons. We have weapons 1 completed now. Those weapons are going to do a little bit more damage into this here. And this is just such a well-defended area here. The reason these Hydras are here is as the Marines enter the room, the Hydras start to attack. And that's really exciting because if you're a noob pub player like me, you probably place the Hydras here and the Marines will just shoot them down the hallway and that's not going to happen for you. SY1K just encountered that just then. He didn't expect the amount of defense that he found in that area. And the strategic situation now, I think, is looking quite good for the aliens. If they can hold cargo and drop that second hive, they're going to be sitting very pretty, sitting on 4 harvesters. Shaft did lose their first alien game. They're looking much stronger in this game. I think thanks a little bit to that Gorge play, and also obviously taking down Nanogrid is good. Marines would have liked to do that, but that Gorge play might not be what Titus was expecting. They might have been expecting a standard 4 skulks. Let's zoom out a bit here so you can see what is going on. Let's see, here's Inter, and Inter adds this extra dimension to this fight. He's not going to do a lot of damage, but he might be able to make the critical hit with the spit. I'm surprised he didn't close distance with the skulks just then, because the key is that if he closes distance with the skulks on the Marine, then he can heal the skulks in mid-combat. And that is extremely powerful. It can be the difference between it taking, let's say, 7 bullets to kill a skulk and 12 bullets to kill a skulk, and that really, really matters, because landing even a single bullet on a competitive player that is playing skulk is very difficult. So Titus Gaming is doing what they need to do right here, is deny cargo. They know that Nanogrid is pretty heavily locked down. They know they're not going to be able to just walk in there and take that without committing significant resources that might allow the aliens to take, say, the rest of the map. But cargo, they can do something about that. They can pressure cargo, they can stop the hive going up, they can stop the harvester staying up. That's valuable, that's possible, and that's what they're doing. So they're making good strategic decisions, and now the pressure appears to be going round the east side of the map where C12 could be in trouble, and they might even be able to pressure East Junction and this new phase gate. So I just mixed up my teams just then. I was, of course, talking about the aliens, not the Marines. The Marines aren't going to attack their own phase gate, but you know what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm trying to say. So I am a little bit surprised by this phase gate positioning. Of course, the Arc Factory has just been started right now, upgrading to an Arc Factory, which is kind of confusing in research because you can build the max at the factory first, but then you need to upgrade for the arcs. But what this is going to be used for is sending those sonic shells through the wall here. So park the arcs here, fire through into Nanogrid, and I am surprised by that. I mean, I just spent quite a bit of time talking about the denial of cargo. That might not be able to happen now because they are committing the resources to Nanogrid. And there's the observatory. So the observatory is detecting the shaded objects in Nanogrid. Now this is crucial, guys, because this is a significant investment of resources. If the Marines lose this position, they will be in significant trouble. And I'm going to focus the camera work on this area now because I don't want to miss it if the aliens come in here with a big push. And they are going to need to do that. They can make a choice now. Now they can try and just stave off Nanogrid's defeat for a little while and expand elsewhere on the map, expand to cargo, drop hive there perhaps. They don't have the resources to do that, but they could. They can do that, or they can commit to attacking Nanogrid. That choice is going to be crucial. If the Marines lose all these resources in Nanogrid, it's going to be a huge blow to them. It's going to be very hard to get that back. It looks like the aliens are choosing the earlier choice, which is just keep it there for as long as possible, let the harvesters get destroyed, get the valuable structures out of the room, and then go to town elsewhere. So they've moved around the map, they've taken down, I think, at least one extractor. They're trying to take down a second one. And I mean, this is a loss, but it's not totally one-sided because this equipment is not immediately able to be used on another battlefield. That factory can't be moved, the observatory can't be moved. They can be recycled, and the arcs can be moved, but it's not immediately able to be used elsewhere. So it's not as bad as it looks for the aliens, but it's of course not ideal to lose the Nanogrid position. And some stuff was lost in there that's not recoverable, that couldn't be moved. The Gorge Tunnel, the Hydras, they are all perma-dead. Into trying to establish a dominant position over Gorgeous. Note the fact that he doesn't just engage him straight away like us pubbers do. He is trying to obtain optimal position. Gorgeous, in fact, retreating. So this constant ballet in the minds of players about optimal positioning, and it's not always just a straight fight. The aliens have done well to take down the phase gate before it was recycled. Let's zoom in a bit here on this fight. See if the aliens will take down the other valuable structures in here. The Marines probably be looking to recycle, but there's not going to be enough time to do that. There is enough time for the robotics factory. So I am wrong there. And that's good. So they got a little bit out, but this is what I'm getting at. That is not a pure loss that Nanogrid went down, because these resources, these investments are now being destroyed. The arcs are being destroyed. They're probably just being moved to try and move the aliens away from Nanogrid. And now the Marines are not actually going to hold Nanogrid. So a big investment. And I suspect that actually if you totted it all up, if you added it up, both sides of the ledger, the Marines might have, although we just lost a fade somewhere. Where did that happen? I'm not sure where that happened. The Marines probably came off worse after spending all that. Unless they can dominate right now and take down these valuable structures. They may actually be able to do it. There's only one lurk. He's outside the room. The force composition here is not good for the aliens. They're going to need to get some life forms over there. There is a fade down. I don't know where the fade went down. The important thing is that we know that it went down. Insight Spectator System told us that. We'll be forever grateful for the work of John Hughes for his work in creating the initial version of the Insight Spectator System. I think his actions were instrumental in the Map Section 2 competitive scene being as long-lasting and as healthy as it has been. This is of course a niche game, but it has a much better spectator system than many other games that have competitive pretense, that have aspirations to be competitive games. So, well done Hughes, you the man. I was wondering what was killing that extractor. It is of course the infestation. So the aliens recovering nanogrid. Elsewhere, they have managed to hold cargo node. They haven't got a second hive up though. The resources being devoted to retake nanogrid right now. We are at 11 minutes. We probably want to see a second hive. Remember that the value of nanogrid is in resource production and positioning, but there is no hive. There's no tech pointing here. So you don't want to just hold nanogrid. You want to hold nanogrid so you can do other things. And the aliens are going to need to do some other thing. Unsuccessful attempts to take down the phase gate, and the Marines are back in town. They are getting the power back up. And there are fights happening. Fights happening in the alien hive. Just take a peek at the mini-map every so often, guys, because I am missing quite a few fights in there, and they're important fights too, because they're drawing aliens back to the hive. These harvesters are certainly going to go down. I'm just going to hold here and see if we can catch any alien counterattack that might come in here. But it doesn't look like there is going to be one in the room. Quite handily take this area. That will leave them possibly up to 6 extractors if they can finish construction. Of course, there is alien harassment extractors going on now. There is some alien positioning happening in this area down near C12, but there's no benefit coming from it. The Marines are working up in nanogrid. And meanwhile, they are holding their position at East Junction. So the aliens are not looking good right now. They weren't able to make anything of this presence. They needed to do something there. They didn't even take down the extractor. So perhaps Titus looking quite good here. Let's just take a look at the pings again. As I suspect, there was some discussion of the pings after game number 1. And Shaft, being an Australian team, they are used to it. They know this is how it is. And they're generally quite mature and honourable about it. They know that that's just how it is, and it's how it works when you're playing games. Sometimes, as an Australian, you just have to deal with the high pigs. Apologies for my zoomy. I'll try to stop doing that. I know that a steady camera is much more pleasant to watch than a shaky one, so try to keep that under control. Notice the positioning of the Marines down near nanogrid on the minimap as this fight with G unfolds. They are now pushing down into system waypointing, and system waypointing is a notorious jumping off point for attacks into the alien hive in subsector. So this is where it happens. If you're a Marine team that is going to dominate an alien team, it's going to happen from system waypointing. You're going to put a phase gate down. You could even get greedy and put an arc factory down, but then you just have relentless pressure into system waypointing. So that might be what we're about to see. And we just saw 10 go down somewhere on the map. We didn't go down system waypointing where the camera is right now. And there is some alien pressure happening on extractors elsewhere on the map, but that's not going to matter if this phase goes up and the pressure starts to be applied from system waypointing. This is what the aliens need to deal with. They need to deal with it now, and it doesn't look like they are going to be able to deal with it because their life form composition is now quite weak. They're going to lose the cargo extractor. They're not going to be able to reinforce this because to do that they have to go via system waypointing. This is part of the reason system waypointing is so strong. It is really the only way out of the hive. If the aliens go to the north side, they can go all the way out via West Junction. But either way, you're gonna really end up back at system waypointing. It is such an important room, and if the Marines do hold it over the next minute or so, I think we can safely say in real trouble. Bernage, I think, is hiding because he's on such low health. He is indeed hiding. He's just trying to hold the life form. The fade going to be crucial if there's going to be any hope of recovery here, but the pressure coming in from waypointing right now is just, this is the kind of thing that's the writing on the wall for alien teams unless they can push this back. Second shell completed. That's not going to be enough. That's marginal. What we need to see is concerted pressure. It looks like there are aliens on the phase gate back in system waypointing right now. The Marines may be overcommitting here. They may think they can take down the hive, and for the phase gate to go down won't matter, but I don't believe that's going to be the case. There's not enough DPS happening on this hive, and these Marines may get cleaned up. A fade just went down. I believe that happened on the other side of the room where my camera was looking at zooming that. Zoom out a bit here so we can get the whole thing, and oh my goodness, okay, that fight did not go the way I expected. I expected the alien team would be able to consolidate after taking down that phase gate and at least make a push out, perhaps towards cargo, but some great shooting from the Titus Gaming teams means that is not the case, and that is Titus Gaming taking it 3-2-0, I believe, at this time. So let's look at the stats screen. I'm just going to move quickly through so that you guys can screenshot them if you want, should the server change quickly. I'm not sure if it's going to, but now that you've had the opportunity there, so you can go back and screenshot if you want. Let's take a look at this screen, and we see a positive kill-death ratio pretty much all the way down the Marine team except for Gorgeous. I mean, this isn't Counter-Strike, so it's not necessarily telling us the whole story, but it's an interesting acid test. Another really quick acid test you can run when looking at a game is to look at the RT graph, and what you want to see in an even game is the aliens just kind of hovering below the Marines. They don't have to be on top of the Marines. That would indicate, in fact, a little bit of alien dominance. But what you see here, this is the loss of Nano, I think, right here. I'm not sure. And then we had the kind of recovery in Nano, I think, but so you can see the swing of the economy, and you could feel that the game was quite even up until that 8-minute mark, and then the loss of Nano, the lack of a cargo hive, and the kill graph. Quite interesting, the alien resurgence after the 10-minute mark. I believe that coincided with the retaking of Nano, followed by the Marines just running away with the game at the end as their technology exceeded what the aliens could keep up with given their more limited resource availability. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready for game number 4 right now. I hope you enjoyed this game. I will see you all soon for more NS2HD videos.